part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Hey. Good evening, everybody. We're out of the Fanatical Elfz Network. We are live here. Thanks for joining us here, part of Fans First Sports Network. I'm John. There's Jarrell. Up there is Lou. And off to my left and up top is the cowboy, Sam, the man, the cowboy. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? You got your shirt, yeah? You got your representing Texas. We had a little technical difficulty there. I had to take off our Facebook feed, our local Facebook feed. Not sure what happened there, but we are live on YouTube and on the X, and we're going to be announcing a giveaway winner here shortly. I know many of you Brownie fans around the globe have reposted, and we really appreciate you following us and your loyalty. Spread the love. We're Browns fans just like you guys. So thanks again. Jarrell, how are you doing tonight?
Trying to stay cool. It's pretty hot down here, man. So it's been a rough day. It's scorching out there. So, and the air doesn't really work as well when it's that hot. So
yes. Well, stay where it's cool. Right. And you're in a cool spot with your Brian Sipe hanging over your shoulder right there.
Well, this is the only place I get refuge, so that's why I got the beanie hat on.
Well, nice to have you along tonight. Sam, how are you down there in Texas? Is it raining right now, or is that gone?
Good. It's been quite cool, actually. We aren't melting, so that's nice. We will in like 4 weeks when it becomes July, but no melting yet. But it's been nice here. We haven't been very many cicadas, which is kind of nice because those things kind of get on my nerves eventually. But it's just been a pretty decent point right now. It gets hot and then cool, and we're in the cool point right now. Thank God we're not in Houston, though. That tropical storm looks pretty rough.
Yes, they've had a lot of rain down there. I know we're heading down to Florida in the Gulf Coast here in a few weeks. I'm a little nervous just because it seems like the tropics are starting to get a little more active right now. But I haven't been to Florida in the middle of July in a long, long time, so I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, so we have you guys here. Lou, I forgot to introduce you. Darn, Lou Marconi, the guy. He's got his show, Burning River Browns Talk, coming up here shortly. Yes. How are you tonight? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm good. You can hear me, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, and just ready to talk about Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper.
That's right.
And whatever else comes across our way.
We had a story earlier this week that came out from the Akron Beacon Journal, Chris Easterling. And Chris I got in contact with Chris since the article, and he's been kind enough he's going to try to come onto my Johnny Cleveland show here maybe soon to talk more about what he learned from Nick Chubb and some of the other players. In his article he wrote, and I'll get there was a comment at, I don't know when it happened in the conversation, but when Chubb was asked about returning, would he be ready to return in week 1? He did not shut the door on that. He said, we'll see. And if I'm feeling great and feeling like I can do it, then it would be a go. So he didn't shut the door on it. And I know a lot of us in this group here that we've talked on, and a lot of others, many Browns fans are, this constant conversation. Well, is he going to go on the PUP list? Is he going to, what's he all going to do? So he's not shutting the door. I think my take on it, and I've already shared this on various podcasts, is that it's Nick Chubb. And this guy is unique, special, different than any ordinary football player. And I'm not putting it past him that if he thinks he's ready to go in week 1, then damn it, let him go. So that's, I don't think it's going to happen. but he didn't slam the door on it, and I think that's smart. I mean, the kid's he's a workhorse. Lou, what do you think of everything?
Well, there was I first heard the story that he was actually doing squats. He was squatting, and where I heard that from was on another podcast from somebody that was on my show, a very reliable source, Cameron Justice.
Yeah.
And she said that, but she didn't say any specific amount of weight. So if you start hearing stories or seeing videos of Nick Chubb squatting 500 pounds,
yeah,
he's ready. He'll be back. He's ready. So that's the big thing, because he needs to rebuild the strength in his lower body now and the strength of that knee. So that's a huge step that he's squatting like 3 months out from the home opener, which is crazy.
Right.
It's like, man. So I could see him not starting the season on PUP, and I could see him maybe getting some carries against Dallas, but not a lot. And they'll ease him in, but they'll give him a chance. So they'll probably see how it responds. It all depends on how his body responds to the rehab.
Sam, what are you thinking about Nick?
Yeah,
and this whole
I think
week one thing.
I think Nick Chubb is probably going to either just not ignore, but kind of do his own thing, depending on what the doctors say, or he's going to listen and do whatever they say. I don't think there's much of an in between. I think he's either going to do his own thing or he's going to listen to the doctors. There's not going to be like any compromise or anything. But I think he understands the severity of his injury and the implications it has if he aggravates it or makes it worse or reverses the healing or whatever. And I think if the doctors tell him that he needs to stay out for a few weeks, he's going to stay out for a few weeks.
So, I mean, that's what I kind of talked about that as well. I'll come back to my that part too. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Jarrell, what do you think?
I always thought it was possible he could start week one, just because I always compared it to AP's injury, and AP got hurt like week 10. So his injury was week 2. Again, we're in this world now where they don't really want to take the reins off of him too soon. It's kind of like, back in the 80s and 90s, they hit twice a day in training camp, and they hit much more. And it seemed like back then there weren't as many injuries because I don't know, maybe their bodies were just conditioned to it. And now they try to keep guys out as much as possible and limit the wear and tear. And it almost has a reverse effect. So I'm kind of with y'all. If he's ready to go, I say let him out there. Maybe put him on a pitch count like Lou was saying, but if he can go out there, let him out there. Give him 5 carries, a quarter or something.
Well, and we've talked about it too, like Lou here amongst ourselves and Steve Gill, and like even beat writers like Tony Grossi. 2 weeks ago he's talking about Nick Chubb coming back in like week 10 or 11, also saying he could start a lot earlier. But I mean, everyone's all over the place, and so I just found it intriguing, and I want to learn more from this Chris Easterling, who's the beat writer for the Akron Beacon Journal. Exactly, what he felt like when he talked to Nick Chubb, because that quote, I mean, he's not closing the door on it. And if you're saying that he's squatting like that, I guess it gets into this whole thing too with the doctors and the medical staff. A lot of us have done athletics. Maybe I haven't, but like my daughter played college hoops, and some of it, you all have experiences, with your wrestling and stuff. I mean, when you have an injury and some of these things, I mean, you're listening obviously to the doctors and the trainers. You also have the coaching side of it, and so you just got to wonder, like, if Nick Chubb feels, and I've said this before in my own show, if he genuinely says I can go and he's doing 500-pound squats, and we'll let him go. Let him go. We're protecting. Why are we protecting him? I mean, if he gets injured, so be it. I mean, it's a big risk, obviously, but he's had 2 knee injuries. He knows what the risk is. He's a big boy. He's going to be 28 or 29, right? I mean, if he gets injured again, it's maybe the end of his career, but I mean, let him go. Why are we, I don't want to protect him. I don't want to put him on a PUP list. I know a lot of people here will say, put him on the PUP list right away. Why? Like, why are we?
Yeah. The only way you do that is if he can't go. If he can go and he's ready, then do it. Absolutely.
And I would think you would do that if you picked up because we had a lot of running backs in the free agent class this year that you could have had your pick, where if you really felt like you want Nick Chubb as insurance, you pick up one of these other backs. But I don't know that the Browns have the luxury to start them on the PUP list, because who are you using for those carries?
Yes.
Right.
Well, the other part of this that I kind of spoke to in my article a little bit were some of these personal accolades that he's and accomplishments that he's on the cusp of getting to. He's 30 yards from overtaking Mike Pruitt. He's 763 yards from overtaking Leroy Kelly for number 2. Easily attainable if we get the Nick Chubb, or even half the Nick Chubb that we hope to get. I know, Sam, you've talked about on your podcast, I listened to yours a couple weeks ago, you talked about Nick Chubb and his, what's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like, for Nick Chubb, because he's had the serious knee injury. Is he going to be slowed up a little bit? You remember talking about that, Sam, on your show? Is he going to be a little half step slower?
He might never get back to 100%. He might never be able to. He might break 2 tackles instead of 3, or he might only run 18 miles an hour, not 20, stuff like that. Yeah.
I just think he's Batman. I think he's Superman. I think this guy is so damn different than, I think he's another Jim Brown. I do. I think he's just that category. And we have to, I think a lot of Browns fans really completely understand that. And I think the organization does too. And my final take on it is, damn it, I want Nick Chubb to finish his career in Cleveland. I don't want him walking. I don't want him going to another team. A lot of these veterans you see, they end up with other teams. We talked about baseball and Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays just passed away, 93 years old. But what did he finish his career with? The Mets, right? He was a lifetime giant, and then he played for some other teams and then ended up with the Mets. But I just like to see Nick Chubb back with the Browns, and I'm hoping that they can sign him again. Do you think that they'll sign him again? Jarrell, what do you think? You think that is it really dependent on this year?
I don't know, because kind of how they're handling the Cooper situation. I'm with you. I think that Chubb should retire, Brown. I don't think he should go the Emmitt Smith route or the Eddie George route or even Derrick Henry, where you do all this for that franchise and then they ship you off. And kind of what we've been talking about, laying a foundation. If you're trying to, there's a locker room aspect of this too. It seems like everybody on their team loves Nick Chubb. Everybody on their team loves Amari Cooper. You kind of went through this with Jarvis Landry, where when you kind of let him out the door, I think it was felt a little bit in the locker room. You lost one of your vocal leaders, so I think it behooves them to keep him as long as they can make the numbers work. And Chubb seems like he's open to negotiating with the team and being fair. So I think the team should do right by that. So that would be my take on it. Hopefully they can, but I don't know. They seem to be kind of about the numbers sometimes too. That works for me.
Lou, where are you at with all this with Chubb going into beyond just this year?
I think it all depends on how this season goes with him. I think that's a huge part of it. If he looks like he's himself or close to himself, they're going to extend him. They're going to offer him that. I think a lot of the how like an extension of Chubb, like the person I talked to and I respect a great deal is Jack Duffin.
Yeah.
And his from Orange and Brown Report, and his take was he could see that happening in December because he sees Nick Chubb, Nick Chubb having a very productive year coming off his injury. And I could see him, he's basically predicting like comeback player of the year. And he gets a lot of information that I don't even have through Orange and Brown Report. He was the first one to say,
well, exactly. He's the one who mentioned it first.
And I tried to, he's like, he's getting married, just so you know. So I was trying to get him back on. I was like, okay, where did you get this? He's getting married, and I was like, all right, man, you're busy. Don't worry about it. We'll talk when you get back. But it just, he gave me, he's been open. So yeah, he's pretty confident about it. So I could see it, just based on hearing that information that he has, you could see him be extended in December. He thinks Amari Cooper will be extended by training camp. So that's a good segue into that. So he had what he thinks it'll look like. And from what I'm hearing about, just kind of segueing into Amari Cooper, was a lot of the guaranteed money would be put into this year's deal and next year's. But after that, it won't be. So it'll be like a huge pay raise for him. But it's the length of the years on the guaranteed money. They don't want to go past 2025. So that's where the negotiating's coming in.
Well, okay. So, yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
So with that, so in what you're hearing, are you hearing that Cooper is being offered guaranteed money?
Not entirely. No. What they said what it would probably take is the guaranteed money being front loaded into this year in next year. But go ahead.
But no, Brad Stainbrook, who writes the OBR and that whole thing, he reported earlier this week that their group is being reported that there isn't like guaranteed money per se, like you just said. And I've just been off the wall here, and I want you guys' opinions on this because I think it's absolutely absurd. It's boneheaded. I'm sorry. I know Cooper's getting older, but this whole thing, if they aren't guaranteeing him any kind of money, and you just gave, Deshaun Watson 2 years ago, $230 million. I'm sorry, it's a crap load of money.
We still got you.
We got you, man. You're still here. We still hear you. We still see. There you go.
I have no idea what just happened.
Looks like your light. Did you have a light go out?
My whole computer did a.
It's the ghost of Amari Cooper.
I have a brand new computer, so this is crazy. Now, did I go black at all? Did I black out?
No, you were there. You were there.
That was so.
It looked like you had a light. Like I have a ring light on mine.
Yeah.
It looked like the light went out. That's all it looked like.
That's funny. Yeah. All right, so we're back. So if they're not offering him guaranteed money, I'm just pissed. As a Browns, I'm just like, you're talking about one of the best wide receivers that the Browns have had in decades, and if the Browns are guaranteeing money for Deshaun Watson and you can't come up with a little guaranteed money for Cooper, I'm just floored by that. And if it's because they're also looking at some of these other things that we can talk about with these trade possibilities with like the 49ers and Brandon Ayuk, or what's the kid's name?
Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk, yeah.
Ayuk.
So anyway, that's what I'd like to. I'm getting messages on my computer. I don't know. There's weird stuff going on. If I leave, you guys keep going. I'll be back on in a minute to announce the winner. We are going to have a winner for the Fanatical Elfz. We got this beautiful beach towel to give away. All right, I guess I want your takes here. Lou, what do you think about Cooper? And then we'll go around the room.
Well, I said when I first heard that there was no guaranteed money, I was like, well, he already has guaranteed money this year. So I don't know. Was it the no guaranteed for 25, 24? So I don't know what the specifics were in that. So how can I put this? Are you guys are you guys familiar with the philosophy of Stoicism? Okay, Jarrell. Okay, look it up. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and he wrote down in journals, and he believed in the philosophy of Stoicism, which was from Seneca and Epictetus. Okay, and all the way back to ancient Greece. Basically, is what it is it's staying calm when something comes through. It's like staying calm during the storm. It's like keeping your emotions in check. And I'm trying to do that.
Well, and also keep in mind, we're not on Facebook tonight, other than we are on Fans First Facebook, but we do need to keep it level.
Yeah. Well, no. Like I said, I'm trying, because I kind of wonder, is that partially true? Is that fully true? Or is it completely not true at all? So it's like, well, he's getting guaranteed money this year. He is. Yeah. He's scheduled to make $23 million. So so there is guaranteed money given to him. So I kind of seeing what are they doing? Because my understanding before that article came out, money wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
It was the years.
Sure.
It was the length. He didn't want to be cut. Right. He didn't want to be cut in 2 years. He wanted that added security. Mm-hmm. So that's where the negotiating is coming in. But if he has information that I'm not privy to, then fine.
Jarrell, what do you think?
I'm like Lou. I think it's ridiculous. They need to get a deal done, and even if they could trade for Brandon Ayuk, I wouldn't do it to get Cooper out of the building, because Cooper is not a diva. He doesn't complain. You know, you're bringing in a wild
I said
card.
The same thing. I said the same thing on my show. Yeah.
So to me, again, when we talking about stability, good franchises don't play hardball with a guy that's led to
no, but that's why. But Jarrell, and that's the reason why with this article that Brad, with the OBR people saying that they have information that it's only a year and it's not guaranteed. I'm like, holy crap! Like, what the hell? So I'm just like, that surprises me. Just because, I mean, when you say, we all know this term, like the guaranteed money is such a big thing for us Browns fans, especially the last 2 years because of Deshaun Watson. So that's, I agree. I'd love to keep Coope. Steve, welcome. And we'll get right to you here in a moment. Steve, I want to get Sam's take on Coope first.
Frankly, I do not think Cooper would accept 1 year and not guaranteed money. Like I think I think he will outright say no. I think his agent will outright say no. I think everyone in his family circle would say no. I don't think there's anyone in the whole Amari Cooper.
He froze.
All
right. We're having all sorts of bells and whistles. I got technical glitches here. Steve, my computer almost went wham on me. So we're going to work through this. Sam, hope to get you back. You look good though.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Sam.
Oh, there he's back.
Is he back?
There he is.
Back?
The wind died down in Dallas, so now we can hear him. Lou had the wind blowing in his house. But
there's a lot of people on the internet right now, and so it's kind of slowing it down.
That's a good point, Sam. Way to go. Very
get the hamster on the wheel there. Get the hamster going on the wheel.
In 15 minutes, it'll all die down. But anyway, what I meant to say is I don't think, or I hope I said, I don't think he's going to accept 1 year, not guaranteed. I think he's looking more 2 or 3 years, some guaranteed money, like maybe 10, 15 million. I still think he's looking to get a good payday. But I think this is his last big contract before he starts that kind of descend into the less amount of money that wide receivers usually fall into.
Yeah. Speaking of your Cowboys, I'm going to get to you here in just a second, Steve. I was doing a review of the Cowboys situations, looking at their week 1 opponent, the Brownies, and Dak Prescott could be due for a huge payday, and also their wide receiver CD Lamb sounds like he's wanting to get like what, 40 million a year.
He wants Justin Jefferson money. He wants to be either first or second. He wants to either be behind Justin Jefferson or ahead of him by $1 million or so.
And they're going back to Zeke, which is hilarious to me as their running back.
No, I know, it's really funny.
That's too funny. Steve, how you doing? You're in an undisclosed location still, or where are we?
No, I'm back in Nashville. Got back today.
Excellent.
About 2:30 after a long drive out of the hinterlands of North Carolina. Went out to celebrate a neighbor's birthday tonight and just got back.
Excellent. Well, so we've already talked about Nick Chubb, but we're talking about Cooper right now. And some of the stuff that we've been hearing in that Brad Stainbrook report that came out from the OBR earlier in the week, and then this other trade thing that's kind of just, rumor, NFL notifications. The like you said, Lou, the Sports Illustrated, you mentioned it a couple days ago in your podcast. It originally came out from a Sports Illustrated article, and so it has some credence, the Browns Digest. So where are you at with the whole thing? Do you think this is all just fluff, Steve? I mean, just Steve, what do you think?
Well, first of all, they've agreed on the money. Amari Cooper wants a 2-year deal. The Browns won't give him any guaranteed money for 2025. That's where it stands right now. The guaranteed money in 2025 is the sticking point. Okay. As for the trade, why would you trade Amari Cooper and trade for Brandon Ayuk, who is younger, but he wants $30 million a year?
Right.
We just said that. We were just saying that. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's a clickbait article on the trade.
Clickbait? We don't do any of that. Wait, what?
Sure you do.
Clickbait?
Sure you do. Sure you do.
I get so tired. I'm sorry. Listen, folks, I want to just throw this out here. Like Steve and Lou and Jarrell and Sam, we all write for different groups and Fans First and Northeast Sports Insiders and Steve, we all do different periodicals. And I'm annoyed, and I understand you Browns fans out there can have your opinion, but we take our time and we put a lot of effort and research into our writings. And so all of you out there who love to be on Facebook and Twitter all day long and like to then throw out that this is a clickbait article, they aren't. We're the Fanatical Elfz Network. We have a bunch of great quality guys here who put out good material. And so it would, if you're the guy that's out there that's saying that this is clickbait material, just stop it. We don't want you following our network. We don't care about you. You think that we're a bunch of morons and idiots. That's fine. But you need to just go away because we don't write clickbait. We're not writing articles for clickbait. We're writing because we are interested in the Browns just like you, and we take the time and effort. We do all the research. We've got a lot of background with the Brownies. We are fans just like you. So stop with the whole this is clickbait. It's annoying. So go somewhere else. All right.
And if you clickbait too much, you go blind.
Yes. Okay.
I was waiting to say that.
Yes. Very good.
Well, no, it's Sunday. The one time I was seeing Amari Cooper, all these negatives, and it's like, oh, there's a serious problem between the Browns and their star receiver.
Yeah.
You know where it came from? Pittsburgh publication, Pittsburgh blogs, the Steelers people. Yes, I saw it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I just want
we need to talk to our buddies over the Fans First. They're a great group here with
Network. Yeah. Well, when I was on Brian's podcast right after the draft, he asked me if this was true that Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be in Cleveland. I said, well, he just opened a sandwich shop in Cleveland Heights and did podcasts with his coach. And he seemed, I said, I don't think it is. Oh, really? Yeah. Like that's the difference because they're all the way over there. They don't know. They're just hearing things. They hear and they go 230 million guaranteed. It's like that's like nowhere near what the top one is now. I mean, he's like 8th on the list. It's like 2 years later, it looks like a bargain. So
absolutely,
Sunshine got paid.
Sunshine, yes. Hey, let's pause for a quick break. We are the Fanatical Elfz Network. This is our Fanatical Elfz show. We're going to announce the winner of the summer beach blanket towel here in a moment. Right after this quick break. Hope you enjoy the commercials. We're back. We're the Fanatical Elfz Show. Thank you for tuning back into us. You're watching us on YouTube, on the X. We really appreciate you guys. We really would love for you to follow us, subscribe on Apple, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, any podcasting platform. We're there. You can type in Cleveland Browns. You can type in the Fanatical Elfz. Boom, we pop up. We're on Instagram at Elfz Network. We're on YouTube at Elfz Network. We have a TikTok page on Elfz Network. So please follow along. Many of you who signed up and reposted for this beach towel are loyal followers to our network. We really appreciate you doing that. These guys are all bringing on great shows themselves. Guests coming up for many of us that we're going to interview as we get closer to the Browns season. So thank you for coming along on the ride and spread the love, spread Browns fever. So you guys want to give away this towel now? You ready to give this
beach blanket bingo?
Let's do it.
That's
all right. So the winner, the winner of the beach blanket. Here we go. It is Joshua Saltzman. His hashtag is SaltyDog419. He's a graduate of Liberty Benson High School from 2015, a graduate of Bowling Green University, a true Ohioan, Buckeye, Browns, Guardians, Red, CBJ, and Bowling Green Falcon fan. He's also an avid video gamer when he has his free time. Congratulations, Joshua. You are the winner. We will be in contact with you We appreciate your loyalty and following us here on the Fanatical Elves. Tell all your family and friends in Bowling Green about the Fanatical Elves. They can follow us on Apple and Spotify, and then we can earn our pennies and read our writings too. All right. So, Jarrell, you brought up off air before we started the show. Let's talk about Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks is coming back now. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's not like they're not doing the Hard Knocks how it was before. They're going to be working with all the teams, and they're going to start broadcasting in December 3rd. I think it's going to be the first show where they follow and track the 4 teams in the American North Division for the last 6 weeks. Obviously, my take, and I'd like to get your takes too, is that they pretty much know that the teams in the AFC North are strong and are going to be competing for playoff appearances and potentially Super Bowls. And so the Browns are in that group. So I think it's a great sign. It'll be a lot of fun to kind of get inside. Jarrell, what are you most excited about?
At first, when they announced it, I was nervous that it could be a distraction. But then I thought about Stefanski. I thought about Vrabel. I thought about Schwartz. I don't think it's going to be a distraction at all. And I think they got the right guys in the locker room to where in a deep playoff push, it really shouldn't be an issue. Honestly, I'm most excited that it'll allow people to actually see the Browns in a competent light, because, a lot of people kind of, piss on the Browns. So I think this will be.
Don't we know that?
Yes, to kind of change a little bit of that, narrative.
Do you see the size of this chip on my shoulder? That's why. That's why.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I totally agree with that. Sam, what do you think, man? Are you excited? We can't hear you, Sam.
I feel really, really, really bad. Sorry, I got it. I'm not excited because I feel too bad for those people having to go to Pittsburgh and to Baltimore and to Cincinnati. I mean, you might as well just go live in California. I mean, that's just terrible. I hope they all will mentally recover from that, because that is a lot for the human mind to handle. But no, I think it'll be nice to have the Browns. I don't know how many people are going to watch it. I feel like Hard Knocks has kind of fallen off a cliff these past 4 or 5 years. I don't know really what happened. It's not as good as it's been. I feel like a lot of the NFL teams also considered it just a distraction to their ultimate goal. And a lot of the NFL teams just don't want to do it. I mean, did any teams want to do it last year when the Jets, I think, ended up getting it? Did no one want to do it? I think it had to be forced upon the Jets or someone to do it last year. But I think it'll be nice to have the Browns put in a show that people watch, and to kind of show them that we aren't because no one really follows the Browns outside of Cleveland. It's less of well, people do, but it's not like a Cowboys thing or a Patriots thing or a Chiefs thing where you can find people.
It was before in the 80s.
Yeah,
we did.
It definitely was.
When the relocation happened, that's when
Yeah, but the Browns have kind of become like the NFL's meme team.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, ha, 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 Browns, they suck. But no one really understands that we're pretty good now. We're actually a really good team. And so I think it'll be nice to have some people who watch that show maybe see the Browns in a new light.
I like that. Lou?
Well, I was the same thing. That's the reason why I get the way that I do sometimes when people.
What way is that, Lou?
Well, like when it comes to, we went through a lot as fans. I mean, especially older guys like myself, Jarrell, you, and Steve here. We've all have. I mean, and we saw the move. We saw the 20 years of expansion.
Yes.
And it's a part of that philosophy that I was talking about is sometimes you go through difficulties because it builds strength. It helps build character.
Yeah.
And the people that didn't learn that lesson are the ones that are hanging their heads and kicking rocks. They were Cleveland. That's why I get mad. because we are better than them. This roster is special. It's very special this year and next year, maybe 2026, but they're leaving themselves flexible for it. That's what they're trying to do. So I'm telling you guys, just enjoy it. We deserve it. Enjoy it. It's going to happen because there's a reason why we got the pretty much the game of the week on Fox with Tom Brady, the first game of the season.
I'm a little nervous about that. I just seen Tom Brady. He was on some show. I don't like Tom Brady, so we're
not playing Tom Brady. So
I know. I know. I'm glad I won't have to. I'll be at the stadium, so I won't have to worry about that. Steve, what do you think about this whole Hard Knocks thing? Are you excited?
I love it. I'm sorry. There's a big difference between preseason Hard Knocks and in-season Hard Knocks, and especially the last month of the season. Yes. So I'm not worried about it. So what it's supposed to start December 3rd?
December 3rd, yes.
So that's after the Broncos game. So they'll kick in week 14 versus the Steelers. So the Browns will have at Steelers, Chiefs, at Bengals, Dolphins.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you get you get the Pittsburgh and the Cincinnati stuff. So then it's going to be, overlap, and that'll be intriguing to kind of see. Yeah.
I think it's great. I really do. Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at the dynamics of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You got Lamar and you got whoever's going to be playing for the Steelers. We don't know.
Right.
And you have Deshaun and you have Joe Burrow. I mean, come on, that's must-see TV. I love it.
See, I think some of these guys are going to be injured too. Like, I don't see Joe Burrow getting through the season.
We'll see.
Lamar, he is off injured.
Right.
Right. Lamar Jackson, the first time in 3 years he made it the whole season was last year. So John, I'm gonna.
You got to go, Lou. Okay, Lou. Take care. Have a great show,
guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, Lou.
Listen to him on the Burning River Browns talk. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be good. Just to get that, like you said, Sam. Though it's been kind of not been the best. Have they ever done this where they've gone in during the season? Like
they did last year. They went in season.
But the Dolphins, right?
Okay.
I think it was the Dolphins they went in season with.
But not 4 teams within the division. So this is new.
No,
this is the first. Yeah, that's
brand new.
Yeah, I like it. That it'll be fun. I mean, for whatever it is. I mean, it's we're definitely in a position where we should be winning more than losing. All signs, Steve, I didn't get your take before the show, but I know that you, the news that came out, and I had a chance I reached out to the guy from the Akron Beacon Journal, this Chris Easterling, who got to interview and talk to Nick Chubb. And he had an article that came out yesterday, and Chris is going to come on my show next week. I'm real excited. He's going to be on
cool.
Yeah. So, I just talked to him yesterday, and, so super excited about that, but he just basically, the quote from Nick that we talked about at the beginning of the show was that Nick basically said, what about week 1? And he didn't say no. He left the door open and basically said, if he feels great and he's ready to roll. We kind of reviewed some of the things we talked about that you might've missed was like Lou said, how we're getting reports that he's already squatting and lifting and stuff like this. And so we're all, I mean, me, I'm like, if he's ready to go, then let him go. I know that you've talked about him just automatically going on the PUP list, but
not automatically.
Okay.
But it's all up to him
and
the medical staff.
And that's Sam, you talked about that. Yeah.
It's Batman. You never know.
You don't. He's Superman, Batman, all wrapped in the last one. Wrapped in the one. Okay, guys. So final takes here, Jarrell. Your stuff. By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to. We have a Robin who we gave out our some of our gifts to last week.
Mm-hmm.
Robin in turn has giving back us a gift, and really, really love that, Robin. Appreciate that. This is what we're talking about. We're a bunch of wild and crazy, just Browns fans. We just love our Browns, and we just appreciate that back and forth. We try to be committed. When we have these giveaways, we're talking in the background. We're trying to get things done and shipped and moved around, and that's because we're trying to do our best to stay in tune with you guys. And so the more that you're doing that and we're doing that, we're just growing this product. We've only been doing this for a year, and we've got about 25, well, not quite 2,500, almost. We're getting toward 2,500 followers on the X. We've got hundreds on YouTube right now.
That should be the next giveaway, the 2,500 mark.
Oh, I like that. Ooh, Jarrell. So Jarrell, you got your dog food radio. Talk about your apparel too, because what I wanted to mention is that Robin really liked your, she's got one of your hats, and you want to talk about any of that?
Dog food store. Obviously it's the off season, but that's where you can get your exclusive dog pound brownie gear. We gearing up for 2024. So dawgfoodstore.com. Check it out.
Awesome stuff. Sam, what's going on with you this week?
I am I'm looking at writing a very big paper statistical analysis thing, if you want to call it. I'm going to contact, we might want to talk off air about this.
Yeah.
But Dog Pound Daily, I think it is.
Yep. Dog Pound Daily.
And see if they'll post my thing. I'm going to be doing a big paper about the effects of weather on player performance, the effects of stadiums and placement and stuff like that on player performance, where I'll be going back like 5 or 6 seasons and reviewing all the player performances and what weather was on that day, and correlating weather so that depending on the weather, you can predict if players might be a little bad or a little good or stuff like that.
Huh.
Amazing stuff, Sam. See, you don't get this anywhere else, folks. I've listened to a lot of other Browns podcasts. Guys, we have such a variety and great guys here who write all different perspectives on football and the Brownies, and it's just really cool. So if you like really cool stuff that'll keep you entertained, you got to tune us in. And tune into Sam's Browns breakdowns as well. He'll be coming out with a show, I'm sure, here soon.
I should be this Saturday, but again, there's not a whole lot going on.
It's the slow season, folks. We're trying.
I think I'll probably be coming out with something this Saturday, yeah.
Well, we've come up with the Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays this summer on my summer hiatus from school. So tune into us. I wasn't on this morning. I'll be on tomorrow, so we are going to do a Friday show. Steve, final thoughts?
If you want to know about the new NFL kicking format, I wrote an article for Fans First Sports Network.
Okay.
I break it down. I give you the statistics, not only in the NFL, but also the XFL, which they stole it from, which is amazing because the NFL never steals anything from another league. But I broke that all down. And also on my Dog Pound South podcast, I pointed out that kickers in the XFL participated in 25% of the tackles.
Oh.
And Justin Hopkins only had 1 tackle before he got hurt. So I am hoping the Browns get DeAnthony Bell kicking shoes, because he did kick during that Houston regular season game.
Yes, he did.
Let's use him as a kicker.
Oh, wow.
It's
interesting.
I dove right into that new kicking format. It's going to make me want to watch preseason games.
Absolutely.
And I don't like to watch preseason games because they're practice. Basically.
Right. But
you're going to want to watch preseason games.
Yeah, I may have to spend some time. Maybe I have to go to a preseason game. Do they have 2 home games or 1? 2?
2.
2. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Can you still fair catch before real quick, Steve? When if you fair catch it, do they still get it at the 25, or is there no more fair catch on kickoff?
There are no more fair catch.
Okay.
No more squib kicks. No more fair catch.
Oh man, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Go to Fans First Sports Network. Read my article. Got it all broken down for you.
All right, I'll do that
because I didn't understand it. When I don't understand something, I dive into it.
Yes. Okay, final take from me. I want to throw this out to you guys. Ready for this? All right, you know how I give you these wild and crazy, like from betting sites and stuff, like there's these unusual stats about NFL teams around the league. So they had this one group come out. This is via VinePair. I don't know who VinePair is, but they broke down the most expensive beer at the stadium to the least expensive beer at the stadium in NFL stadiums across the country. Any guesses? I'll tell you the highest beer is $14.67. Any guesses where that's at for a 16-ounce beer?
I bet it's either MetLife Field or
Where's that?
Here in Dallas.
Where's MetLife?
That's Giants, Jets, or Cowboys.
Close.
Los Angeles.
No.
Oh,
the Packers.
that's a good guess.
No.
Philly.
Yep. Philly.
Of course.
Philly. Least expensive beer. Interesting. Was $6.25 for a 16-ounce beer. This is pretty good. Now, if you've been following NFL teams for the last 5 to 10 years, you'd probably know this because they've talked about this team in particular. If you go to their games, because they don't sell out games anymore.
Steelers.
No, after they got rid of their one quarterback years ago.
Who's a team no one cares about? Is it going to be the
Where did
There's quite a few.
Where's the quarterback that went to from the Vikings?
Atlanta.
Yes, Atlanta.
Ooh, yeah.
And the Detroit Lions actually have the least. Both the Lions and the Falcons, $6.25. Where do you think the Browns are at?
You can find it.
Dallas? Yeah, Dallas is. Any guesses as to the cost for the Cowboys?
$9.95.
Nice job. It's $9.50.
Oh wow.
Wow.
In Dallas. What about the Browns? What's the price for the Browns beer?
I think I paid
17.
What is it, Jarrell?
I think I paid 10 when I went.
You paid 10? Yeah, well, this 16-ounce, they're saying it's $8.13.
I said 70.75, so I'm really good at this.
You're good. Okay. Who's number 2 then? Most expensive beer?
Is it
you kind of mentioned this already.
Is it MetLife?
No.
Giants, Jets?
No. But they're up there. They're number 5. They're number 5.
Chargers, Rams.
You mentioned, I think, Steve, you mentioned it first because it's
LA.
Both LA teams.
Yeah.
And then Vegas and then San Francisco and
Vegas. Yeah, no wonder.
Yeah. But surprisingly, the Bengals, if you go down to the Bengals game, it's only $6.59. So you should run down there for the games.
How many wins they're gonna get this year?
$6.59. That's how many wins they're gonna get.
Yeah. So there you go. There's our fun stat for the night. I just like that they send me these emails sometimes, and sometimes I catch stuff on social media like you guys. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, all right, folks, thanks again for tuning in. Congratulations again to our winner, who was I mentioned his name, Joshua Saltzman. Again, congratulations. Yes, you Bowling Green graduate, you Falcon rooter on a cheer or whatever. I don't know. Thanks again, all of you who are, again, following us. We really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks again. Have a great night. Watch for these guys' shows. Steve's got his Dog Pound South show. Jarrell with his Dog Food Radio. Sam with his Browns breakdowns. And I've got the Johnny Cleveland shows. See you next time. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
I got technical difficulties here.
All right.
See ya.